someone's a victim, who? Why are they a victim? Are they innocent victims, or are they victims of stupidity? Or are they victims of bad choices? Or are they victims of self-imposed victims? Victims that are victims because they choose not to do good things. That they choose bad eating habits, they choose bad lifestyles, they choose smoking cigarettes in excess, they choose drinking large amounts of alcohol without any consideration of future consequences. They run with the wrong crowd. They do drugs, harmful drugs that over long periods of time and overusage has an adverse effect on one's human body, biological consequences. I don't know if you could call that being a victim. There are victims, self-afflicted victims. I mean, there are really victims, innocent bystanders, but a great deal of those supposed victims are victims because they put themselves in positions that allowed them to be a victim, whether it be of their own on account of their own accord, or whether they decided to hang around people that were not really good for a good influence on them. They married someone, or they hooked up with someone that was, not a good servant, but a taker and a victimizer, verbally or mentally or even physically in some cases. That's why the prisons and the jails are full of people who are guilty of abuse, or of physical abuse, verbal abuse, mental abuse. And if they're not in jail, they're being sued. They're having to go through legal battles and legal trials because it's brought up later. But and not only that, but it affects the person's mentality for a long time, because personal experiences do affect people psychologically. Sometimes it takes a long time to get over it. I know certain people it takes 30 years or more to get over it. Victimization. You could probably avoid being a victim by just being a little smarter and being a little more careful and following good examples instead of bad examples, taking good counsel, good advice, accepting instruction, being teachable, allowing people to teach you a better solutions, better techniques, better lifestyles. You can avoid all that stuff. You don't have to be with that person. You don't have to go to that event. You don't have to go to that bar or that tavern. You don't have to have sex with that person. You don't have to do drugs. You don't have to drink alcohol. You're exercising your personal free will when you do a lot of that stuff. The problem is once you exercise your free will to do it the first time, then it becomes easier the second time, and even easier the third time, and then all of a sudden it becomes a habit, and then it becomes a desire, one of those greedy desires. It becomes a compulsion. It becomes almost irresistible, because you've introduced. It takes over your person. But you just have to really will it. You have to work hard at it to get out of it and get free from it. If you get sucked in or trapped into those things. But a lot of it is psychological. You have to understand that. And it's not just psychological, but it's spiritual. And it's biological, because it's not just a physical addiction, but it's you get emotionally attached to people. You get emotionally attached, logically attached, psychologically attached, biologically attached, spiritually attached. It all is intertwined. You have to detach yourself from those negative and bad influences. And I believe that's biblical because the Bible says bad company corrupts good morals. You know, you associate with bad people, they're going to have a bad influence on you. That's why successful business people hang out with successful business people in order to become successful. You're kind of guilty with you're guilty by affiliation. If you affiliate with successful people, you'll be successful. If you affiliate with yourself with alcoholics, you might be one. If you affiliate yourself with drug users, you might be a drug user. If you affiliate yourself with people who have foul mouths and speak evil, and you probably will have a foul mouth and speak evil. So choose your friends. Choose your friends wisely. Don't hang out with people who are going to tarnish your reputation or hurt your image or put a damper on your successes. You know, don't get sucked into that trap of being a non-desirable in human society. Be a contributor.